Tristan Thompson for maybe a player like Paul George.
Usually when you want to print big
if you
stuff.
do that and LeBron leaves next summer, you're basically stuck with the team that you had before LeBron got there in 2014, minus Andrew Wiggins, who was traded, and Kyrie Irving would basically be on an island by himself. So it's a risky proposition, but you've got to be in aggressive mode right now. You can't be whoever the new general manager is, if it's Chauncey Billups or if it's Kobe Altman who's in charge right now, the person that drove LeBron James out of Cleveland once again.
All right, Bobby, appreciate it. Stay by your the magic of technology. Keep all of your digital possibilities handy. We'll get you between now and the future. Thanks again.
Thanks, Casey.
All right.
You're playing Jordan at center. I got you, Max. After today's show, you guys are going to be taking some time off, which means you won't be around to talk a lot about NBA free agency. As you can see, some of the big names could potentially be on the move this summer. Max, let's start with you. What is the #1 move that needs to be made?
Boston's got to sign Gordon Hayward. Butler's now off the board. Unless the asking price for Paul George is exceedingly reasonable, Boston's got to sign Gordon Hayward. He is exactly, I think, what that team needs to take the next step. Now, the next step is Cleveland stays pat. May not still be beating Cleveland quite yet, but I think it sets them up going forward to take over the East after next year.
I personally believe the Lakers have to get Paul George now. If I'm the Los Angeles Lakers with the recent history under the guise of Jim Buss, I don't take the chance of assuming that I'm attractive enough that somebody's going to want to be with me a year from now. I go after Paul George as we speak, but that's something I will allude to more in my final take.
Pacers president calling that move, by the way, a complete gut punch. And George saying that he wants to leave the Indiana Pacers. So those are the moves you want to make. Paul George to the Lakers have
Paul
to be
George
done.
and Lakers need to get him now, not wait for him for next time.
Boston has to be done.
That's right.
All right. That's going to do it for that segment. Stephen A. is going to bring you his final take. Next.
You are so...
That's Stephen A. Vacationing.
Vacation.
League sources have told Remoter Shelburne that Knicks GM Steve Mills focusing on free agency before looking to replace Phil Jackson. So will the Knicks, can they attract big free agents now that Phil Jackson is gone?
I don't know. I mean, can the Knicks... Can accidents happen? Yes, Stephen A. always. Accident waiting to happen with the Cavaliers. You know, a real accident? The New York Knicks. Because that's the only thing leading them. I think I just figured something out here, Stephen A. I don't know if you're watching, but I have got a new one on you. The Knicks are the accident waiting to happen because there's nothing else leading them but simply stumbling through the woods of what might happen next. Can the Knicks get a free agent? I guess if they run into one, bang their head on one, trip, fall, and land in one. That's the only way it's going to happen because there's no leader, and there shouldn't be a leader because I would never, and I can't imagine any rational man would, other than just getting pure and utterly money whipped, take the job as general manager of the New York Knicks. Oh, John, what are you signing up for? Let me see. What does Carmelo want? Is James playing with his band tonight? How does James feel today? Is he listening to social media? Has Twitter gotten too loud for James? Is my job safe because the crowd size outside Madison Square Garden is bigger than the one inside the Garden? Is Charles Oakley after me today? What does the GM of the New York Knicks get to actually run? What does he run? He doesn't even know what's going to happen in the next moment because he doesn't know who's in charge because it sure isn't him.
Well, I'll tell you, if the Knicks would have offered me the job as general manager, I would take it.
I believe you.
No, for real, the money is one thing, but and I'm telling you, it is not because I think like Phil Jackson, I think I can make a change. I would make a change. And if I went to make the change and the owner blocked me, you would know. The best thing about President Trump is he makes sure it's transparent because he tells you by Twitter. I would go in general manager and I would change this whole environment to make an environment that it is today. I would be transparent. You said the mob was running the Knicks. I would get the mob in, and I would let them know what I was doing, and I would get them behind me. That way, I would go get players who want to play, players They want to get their money, but I convinced them they got to prove themselves to get the money. I would go get the scrappers. I would probably go back and get Woodson, who would come back and be coach, or I would hire Brian Shaw, like I said. They say the triangle was dead. I would bring in somebody who literally would roll up their sleeves and say, let's become a contender again. I thought about Steve talking yesterday about Mark Jackson. I think Mark Jackson would be a good coach, too. I think Mark Jackson losing that job in Golden State was a terrible thing. But I think him sitting back and for the last 3 years watching the team he put together and win 2 championships, I think he'd be the perfect person to do it. And if you go in with that mentality and you tell guys, hey, we're holding your feet to the fire, and I'm not doing like Phil. I'm not going to whisper to them whatever. I'm going to tell you straight to your face, and then I'm going to go right to the media and say what I said to you. Those kind of things. That's a New York mentality.
That's a doe-eyed, optimistic, laudably confident attitude that has taken many a men down.
Big city
in that job. You know how many is taken down? 8.
Yeah.
Well, the next one will be 8. That'd be you. You'd be 8. You'd be 8 in New York.
No, 8 is the number of infinity. I'd be there forever.
8 is the number of executives that James Dolan has run through over the last 17 years. 11 is the number of coaches he's run through that same time frame. You wouldn't wish that on your worst enemy, much less. Mark Jackson's a nice guy. Why would you do that to Mark? Mark's really good at what he's doing right now. Why would you put him in a no-win situation in New York? Listen, man, when I say the mob runs the New York Knicks, what I mean by that is you never know what's guiding James Dolan's decision. It could be social pressure. It could be the media. It could be social media. It could be the crowd protests. It could be Carmelo. It changes from day to day. So when you have a job and you have to be accountable to something, you can't wonder from moment to moment what standards you're trying to live up to. You can't wonder, do I have to make the crowd happy today, James? Or do I have to make Carmelo happy? Do I have to try to do both? Because that's impossible. In the end, I know I got to make you happy. But the real truth of the matter is, I don't know what's making you happy, James. You don't be prepared to be in it for winning. I don't know if you're in it for money because you got way too much of that. I don't know how
you can never have
succeed.
too much money. You know.
I don't know how to succeed. And the thing is, New York Knicks says probably hate me, but I don't care. I'm telling you the truth, and I want the Knicks to be good. I'm telling you your problem here. This is your problem. And if you're a free agent, why would you go to that either?
So basically you're saying there's no way that the Knicks can make a free agency splash. But
No. I said they can fall into it. Accidents happen.
Well, it's going to be pretty hard for any team to top what the Warriors did in free agency last season with KD. And lead sources, they told our Mark Stein that Kevin Durant plans to wait until after the Golden State Warriors complete most of their offseason signings before re-signing with the Golden State Warriors. So, Will, what does this tell you about KD?
Man, the guy is just all in it for winning. Look, I love this so much because it is just leaning in to the villainry that everyone accused you of. I might have some experience with something like that. But it's specifically spiteful to guys like me.
You gotta put that in a fucking basket, dog.
I criticized KD's move.
Really?
Absolutely, John. I felt like, and by the way, I'm all over the place on this, but it's all coherent in my head. I think KD has become rivaling LeBron James.
Oh, brother. Give me the fucking rock, dude.
LeBron James. I think KD's a Longhorn. I'm always going to love that.
Right.
I think KD's a great guy. I think he took a shortcut to a championship. And I didn't like the specific decision to go to Golden State. But you know what he's doing with this? Is sacrificing money. He's like, you know what? I don't care what any of you people, and I'm sure he doesn't listen to me, probably listens to Stephen A. I don't care what any of you people have to say about the choices I've made because I'm making them to win and I'm going to make every sacrifice. I've sacrificed my reputation because a lot of people didn't like the decision. And now I'm going to sacrifice my money because if my money keeps Iguodala here, if my money keeps Livingston here, but it keeps trophies coming in, that's why I came here. That's why I came to play basketball. And I like that about KD. He's leaning into the criticism and saying, what else you got? I got more.
Yeah, let me say, if you check out my Instagram, John Sally, and it said, when that picture of KD right there, when he first got on the squad, when they photoshopped him in the jersey, I said I am now a Warriors fan because I've always been a KD fan. With the situation he's going through, I had when I got traded from Miami, from Detroit.
Here we go again.
I had a big contract at the time. I'm not going to tell you how much, 15 million. And I was like, this is going to be great. Really only getting 12. Oh my God, I finally got some money. And they couldn't sign Grant Long. Kevin Lockery didn't like it. The teammates, Ben Coles, and them didn't like it. I knew they didn't because they talked about it. They talked about it in the paper. I had no idea. I was just trying to get my money. I didn't know that I wasn't holding up anybody else's money. It causes a big problem when guys who have been working to get you and they come over you and give it to the star. They did the same thing with us when they had, God bless his soul, Orlando Woolridge. Orlando Woolridge came to the Pistons, but they didn't want to give Mark Aguirre money after he won 2 championships. Money is such a thing that's a blessing and it's a curse. The best thing about KD is he says, give them money. I got enough money. I want to keep winning. I want as many championships as possible. I already got my dough.
It's the mark of a winner, man. I mean, I really would never begrudge a man
Jesus,
taking
throw it
all
a little harder, you pussy.
It turns off, it turns off. You got to get it while it's available to you. But if you do give up that money, like we've seen some guys do, D-Wade did in Miami, Tim Duncan did in San Antonio. I've never seen anybody give up more money than Dirk Nowitzki has in Dallas to continue to do your best to try to be in a situation where your team can compete at its highest level.
Right.
And now we're seeing KD do that in Golden State. I'll take what's left. Get them. I want all I can get. But get everybody in-house, and I'll take what's left.
Yeah. Speaking of making money, a man who knows how to do that very well, Magic Johnson, he says that Lonzo Ball is the new face of the Lakers. But how quickly will he change the losing culture at Staples? These guys look into the crystal ball coming up. And Steph Curry is looking to be the best in something off the court. Find out what the check has put when First Take continues. You all know. But we live in the super team era that LeBron had a huge role in shaping, guys. And now the rest of the league is following suit. Of course, with the Rockets and GM Daryl Morey, he says he's all in. And listen to what he has to say about how they made this move and why.
Once you're close, and especially chasing these, super teams out there that we're trying to join, you have to keep your resources dry to keep improving the team, because it's not just to have James Harden, it's not just enough to have Chris Paul and Eric and Trevor and the great players we have, but you got to continue that flexibility to get better again.
And you called Leon Rose, who's CP3's agent, a maestro. Maybe it's just CP3 being a maestro, because that's what LeBron did. He handled those trades. So I asked you this: how should LeBron feel about this move?
He should. It's always been a time when players needed to take control of their destiny. And the other time they're told, I'll give you an example. Every time a team tells you, hey, what about the community? What about the team? What about the family? And then as soon as it comes to negotiation, hey, we don't have enough money. You didn't do this. Then they go to stats. So you got a limited amount of time as a professional athlete. Your job as a professional athlete, because you get paid to do this, is to get the most money as possible. If you can get the trinkets along the way, cool. You should want the trinkets. But don't lose sight that this is a job and this is how we make our money. And you should make as much as possible, because the chances are 3.5 years. And then I saw that ESPN thing, they talk about how our money is. Get your money and then focus on winning. And once you get it, focus on winning. Get your dough.
Yeah, but players are independent contractors. That's what they are. And once you join a team, then you understand. Guess what? Okay, now we got to bear the blunt of coming together and trying to win. He is trying to do that there, and obviously with the Clippers, it hadn't worked out. LeBron James really set the table as far as, okay, I'm LeBron James. I'm chasing Michael Jordan. I'm chasing Kobe Bryant for championships. How do I do that? Well, guess what? I'm going to have to get some guys along with me to do that. And I have the ability to move. Every 2 years, LeBron James, he's smart. He like Darrell Reeves. Mm-hmm. Reeves did the same thing in the National Football League. He signed 2-year deals. And he said, I'm going to bet on myself, because I'm going to be a good player. I'm going to get a bite of the apple every 2 years. But I'm going to have a chance to go somewhere, maybe to another team and win a Super Bowl. He goes to New England. He didn't do it by accident. Okay? Then he ended up back to the Jets. Well, LeBron's doing it in basketball now, and all these players are figuring it out, saying, you know what? If you're a star in this league and you haven't won a championship in 5 or 6 seasons, you know what fans are saying? Why is this guy not winning the championship? Durant, great player. Why can't he win a championship? He says, man, enough of that nonsense. I'm going to win me a championship before I get out of this league.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when he did left. So LeBron started it all. Good for LeBron, because the players are figuring it out.
All hail the king.
Well, you also said an interesting note in the meeting today. They don't remember. How did I introduce you today?
Four-time NBA champion.
Right.
They don't know that I was 7th man off the bench, sometime 8 if Chuck was mad. They don't know. They don't know as coaches, when he retires, they go, he won this was his winning percentage. This many wins, this many L's. When we retire, they go, I played from 1986 to 1990 to 2000, I think.
So I'm saying LeBron didn't start that, coach. You don't feel like that,
Yeah, but I'm saying, here's the deal. Sanu was sitting here.
Yeah.
And you guys had a great conversation with him. And here's the difference when he walked in and he sat in the seat. Similar to the seat I sit in right now as a former player. He was a Super Bowl participant. He wasn't a Super Bowl champion. There's a difference. You have a different title. And it's the same with these players. When you're a player or a coach, you can participate in the finals and you're a participant. It's a different title than world champion. And eventually you want to win the title. You want to have the name of I'm a world champion. That's what players play for. That's what coaches aspire to do. And it's a different sound when they say, hey, he's a participant. Okay, yeah, that's right. It's hard to get there. But when you say you got the world champion, you go, okay, world champion, okay.
Yeah. How should LeBron feel today as he's watching Houston build a super team? He should feel wonderful. Number one, he put it in motion. Number two, he's about to reap the benefits of it. He's not worried about Houston. Houston's going to go over there, best case scenario, beat up Golden State. That's good for LeBron. That makes Cleveland's path potentially easier if these guys have some hard series out west before they get to him. That's one, but that's really honestly the short-term side of this thing. The long-term side of this thing is that Chris Paul has a one-year deal, for now, a one-year deal with Houston. If Chris Paul doesn't do his extension with them, I don't know when you start getting nervous. Maybe a week after he can? A week after he can? The watch begins. The banana boat clock starts ticking right then because for the first time, LeBron James, Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo has 2.
Carmelo?
Well, he's 2. He's got 2.
George.
If he gets bought out, changes the equation. They will all be free agents at the same time. They will be able to do the super team that everyone has dreamed about for some time. It no longer becomes a dream. It can become a reality. So LeBron James, number one, put the player-driven super team into motion. Number two, watches it begin to weaken his competition as they beat each other up. And number three, gets all the opportunity for it to be his best super team yet a year from now.
That is a great idea.
It's a great idea, but remember, Father Time doesn't lose the battle.
No.
It'll all be a little bit older.
It's going to be called the Redeem Team.
I'm going to talk a little bit older. I'm going to talk a little about stem cells.
We're
A little bit older now.
We're asking how LeBron feels. He did tweet this. My brother off to a new journey. Best of luck, CP3, H-Town. You have got a real great one coming to your city. # brotherhood. Of course he's happy.
Oh, yeah.
But is that all that's coming to Houston? We'll talk about that and more. Plus, the daily news back page echoing the relief of Knicks fans everywhere. Zen. Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't he happy when Phil was there? Okay. So now that Phil's gone.
I gotta be honest, I just want to roll straight to this, guys, in the booth here, because I want to say, I think the Knicks job is more attractive than people are setting it out to be, because the bar is so low. Can we bring up the screen here? You just don't have to do any of the following. Don't trade for all your assets for a player that's already on his way to free agency, Carmelo, right? Don't get sued by an employee and cost the franchise many millions of dollars.
Yeah, that's good.
Don't get into a fight with your 2 best players, and bonus, don't overpay for already injured players walking onto your roster.
That's
If
true.
you follow these simple rules,
They've won one
you're a
playoff.
hero in New York City. A hero!
They've won one playoff series since the year 2000. I mean, you know,
So
you don't
how
exactly have to.
competitive is the market for this job?
Well, the thing about it is what we don't know is if Phil Jackson's actually going to be replaced. He was a president. They could elevate Steve Mills, who's the general manager now, to president and bring in another executive. It may not be a big name. And frankly, I stand by our reporting on John Calipari. I do believe that John Calipari, I'm not saying he called, but it was, you know, as he should. That's,
He got some feelings out there.
he's been a couple of weeks since he's got a contract extension. He might as well try to get another one. That's how you get those. Steve Mills is sitting in the chair right now, and he will pilot this team through free agency. And if he does a good job, there's a chance at the end he could end up being the leader of the franchise. And ultimately, the Knicks have salary cap space, and they need to make some additions, especially to their backcourt, especially maybe a point guard, because Frank Ntilikina might not be ready to start right away, and they're going to replace Derrick Rose. The possibility exists that they could make a move or two in this next week and a half that could bolster Porzingis, could fit better with Carmelo Anthony, and this team could be a playoff contender next year. I mean, if you've got Porzingis healthy and Carmelo healthy, why wouldn't you be able to make the playoffs?
I'm listening to you and I'm liking everything you're saying, but I don't believe in you. I just think it's very difficult for the Knicks to attract good free agents right now. And that's the only way you get better in today's market is with the free agents. And right now, I don't see players running to go to the Knicks team.
Scotty York, the bar is so low right now. So low. You sound like an extra popcorn guy in the stands. People are going to be very excited.
Stephen A., get your thoughts. Is this a good fit? Rockets and CP3?
Well, first of all, I don't think CP3 is a bad fit for any team. Let me be very, very clear. I find him to be one of the elite floor walkers.
But again, you're talking about a credible general manager in Sam Presti prepared for the future. Obviously, they're gonna have a lot of faith in Russell Westbrook, but if this is just a one-year rental and Paul George decides to leave, and you're talking about Oklahoma City rebuilding and positioning themselves to do that. In the case of the Indiana Pacers, you want a guard and Oladipo who's no scrub, who can play, who's capable of averaging 18 to 20 a night. And so you look at it from that standpoint, along with the young promising prospect, that's a bonus appears to be, and you can understand why a move like this is made. But ultimately, you would expect more for Paul George. The problem is he really put the Indiana Pacers in a pinch by making sure he announced to everybody that he had every intention of leaving Indiana, because since everybody knew that he was going to leave after this year, Indiana was forced to have to make something happen now, as opposed to waiting until the NBA's trading deadline or even until next summer for something to transpire. So they've been in a bind because of that, and I guess they felt this was the best they could do.
Stephen A., Golden State, obviously still the top dog in all the NBA. Depending on what happens with their conversation with Andre Iguodala, San Antonio could potentially get stronger here. We know Houston already has. Where does this move put Oklahoma City now in the West?
Personally speaking, I think it still puts them somewhere between the 4th and the 5th slot within the Western Conference. Quite possibly a berth to the second round of the NBA playoffs within the Western Conference. Again, if they're a 5th seed, they're playing a 4th seed. Anything could happen at that particular moment in time. But that's really all that I see. I don't view Oklahoma City as a powerhouse just because they have Russell Westbrook and Paul George. I think it's going to take a hell of a lot more than that to be a San Antonio, to be a Golden State Warriors, obviously. They can hang with a few of the other teams. I mean, again, you got Houston with James Harden and CP3. Melo's trying to get there if he can't make something happen with Cleveland. So you have to take that into consideration. And then from there, you're talking about Oklahoma City and a bunch of other squads fighting for the 4th seed and beyond. So, at the very best, I think this helps advance them maybe an additional round, but that's about all.
Paul George, what's the latest there?
Yeah, Ramon Shelburne is all over this story. Paul George has been traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. We are still trying to determine what the pieces are here, but the impetus for this is Russell Westbrook. The Thunder were concerned that Westbrook would not sign an extension to his contract that they're ready to offer him tonight. Now they have Paul George to be able to offer to. It seems like they're going to be willing to roll the dice here and accept the chance of Paul George leaving after a year. But if that gets them if that gets them Russell Westbrook to re-sign into the fold, it may be worth it. It may become a more serious contender in the Western Conference. Really stunning. We did not hear Oklahoma City as an option for George throughout this process, but there was momentum towards another deal with Paul George this afternoon with Indiana. They have a lot of young pieces in Oklahoma City. We'll see which ones were contained in the deal. That's going to be key to evaluate.
Yeah, Ramona just tweeted that she's hearing it's Oladipo and Sabonis, but here it is, a one-year rental with Paul George, considered, I don't know, top 12, depending on who you ask, player. But what do you think? You mentioned Russell Westbrook, but what's the line of thinking? You know the Oklahoma City front office. What's the line of thinking that they can get him in and both into their system and make it work long term?
Well, Oladipo does have a connection, obviously, to Indiana with playing at Indiana University, and that has some relevance in a place where they need to sell tickets. And I'm not so sure that the Thunder were thrilled with the contract extension that they gave Oladipo at the start of last season, which was around $80 million over the next 4 years. And it didn't look maybe as good after Oladipo's first season there. So they get off of that contract, and now if the worst happens and Westbrook doesn't extend and George walks, at least they have a clean salary cap sheet. This is an incredible use of assets by Sam Presti. We'll see if there's any draft picks in the deal. What's interesting here is that it's clear that Indiana didn't have a great offer. They get Oladipo on a long-term deal, like I said, it's sort of squishy in terms of its value right now. And Sabonis, who had a decent rookie year, but certainly not a standout, didn't make the all-rookie teams. That's not a very impressive haul for Paul George, and I think that's indicative of the fact that the Pacers didn't have a lot of great offers.
The Pacers asking too much for Paul George?
Wait. Oh shit. No! Fucking idiot. God damn it. I hate that pump fake doesn't work if you accidentally do that shit. Come on, guys. Oh my god. Take it all away. Yeah, my dude.
If free agency even opened as Blockbuster went down. The Oklahoma City Thunder, according to multiple reports.
It's like going on with NBA free agency, man. I was already shook enough when Jimmy Buckets got traded from the Bulls to the Minnesota Timberwolves. But now there's reports, man, that Paul George was just traded to the OKC Thunder for Victor Oladipo and also Domantas Sabonis or something like that to the Indiana Pacers, of course. This is nuts, guys. This is nuts, man.
Get shit out of my house, son.
Brings a beast and everything. But man, like, yeah.
Taking this shit home tonight, baby. Just getting that weak shit off of my face. Jefferson.
With Paul George, put him alongside Russell
Richard
Westbrook,
Jefferson.
one of the best seasons in NBA history, man. What the hell?
Old timer. Come on.
Stacked. Like this team right here, man. Paul George and Russell Westbrook teaming up. That's contending, man. That's straight up contending in the Western Conference. I mean, that's going to give the goddamn Thunder, or I'm sorry, the Warriors problems, guys. I'm sorry, man. It is. And you know.
Oh yeah, that was butter.
Like this team right here, man. This team could get the job done. Of course, I think they need a better shooting guard. But yeah, guys, basically, I want to talk about this trade a little bit more right here, man. I want your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. We are going to simulate an entire NBA season and see what this team's looking like out here. This totally just caught me off guard, man. I'm just sitting there chilling, you know, getting ready for the big baller league out there. And, oh my God, this is nuts. Paul George, Russell Westbrook, what is going on this NBA season? I almost said NBA season, man. It's pretty much been the NBA season because we all know, man, the all season has been more exciting than the NBA playoffs. I'm saying that straight up, guys. There's actually, like, numbers out there, straight up facts backing that up. And the fact, man, that, like, Paul George was pretty much, it was the sign between, like, is he going to go to the Lakers or is he going to go to the Boston Celtics or the Cavaliers? I ain't not heard a goddamn thing about the OKC Thunder. I don't know where. I'm just chilling out there.
I got the shot.
Nasty retweet something. And I was like, is Cash Nasty home or something? No, man, this is the truth. Paul George,
to the OKC Thunder.
They must be in
and
bonus,
the best
huh?
part about this deal is that Victor Oladipo had an $84 million contract, right? So the Pacers have to take that out, of course, and I guess they get somewhat of a good young shooting guard.
And one. I don't understand what happened right there. They gave the credit to me or
this is a straight W for the Thunder, man, because, okay, let's say Paul George walks after this season. Well, you got 1 year of Paul George alongside Russell Westbrook. Let's say it doesn't work out. Well, the next offseason, you no longer have that $84 million contract of Victor Oladipo. And not only that, but also guys like Dennis Cantor, I believe his contract's off the books. So best case scenario, of course, Paul George signs a long-term extension with the Thunder. Worst case scenario, he leaves to the Lakers, and you got all this money for you to sign with free agents. This is, I'm sorry, man, this is the move of the year.
What?
This is the straight move of the year, man. I don't know.
I'm about to go up by 30 points, man.
This man
The series is a lot closer than this game.
Yeah, it might be a rental player for a year, but the fact that you were able to
I want to get a double-double at least.
Is absolutely crazy.
With a couple more boards.
Over here on the playoff picture, you guys see. So yeah, the Warriors are still in the league, or the lead here. And I guess I should say they're still in the league. So it's like, yes, it's a big time move. I think it's just as big as Chris Paul going to the Houston Rockets. Now the Golden State Warriors are still going to be a difficult team to beat out there. You still got Jimmy Bucket from the Timberwolves. So man, the Western, if Gordon Hayward stays in the Western Conference, we already know that
they're not going to take a shot. They're just running the clock out.
The Eastern Conference is just so much trash, guys. They played their last game of the season, and
you guys are done,
62-20 for your record, man. Russell Westbrook still balling.
Come on, Denver, give me the ball.
32 points, 12 rebounds, assists going up on you. Got another player pass through, right? Paul George can knock down his shots. Please believe. Dude, I'm so geeked up right now, man. This NBA season is crazy. We got Paul George, all NBA second team out there, so absolutely crazy, guys. Let me check out these player stats here real quick. We got, of course, Russell Westbrook stats, but Paul George still averaging.
I want to hear what they're saying about me winning the championship. Oh, the nail in the coffin. Go ahead, waste your possession, you big dummy. Uh-oh. Ow! Yeah, good response. A lot of good, did you? Back at me, back at me. Oh yeah, baby! I'd love to get 30 points in this one, but not gonna happen. Ah, wanted that board. Bad pass, figures. We won the championship, folks. $82 games culminating in that, huh? Yeah, buddy. Who's the Finals MVP, or should I even ask? It was me.
Big dog. What's up, brother? Chillin', man. It's good too. Yeah, just calling, man. What's up?
Oops, I forgot that I'm broadcasting. So what, no press conference after all? Alright. I'll check it out, my MVP trophy's over there. They didn't even give me any money for fucking BC for winning that shit. Fuck 2K. Clippers. What a Clipper jersey look like? Yeah, I am on the Clippers. See, my teammates start showing up.